All right. Well, happy, beautiful, amazing Wednesday. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski out of Houston, Texas, and trying a different title tonight, creating a better world, one better choice at a time. And keep in mind that we have a lot of choices, and every time we make a better choice, our world gets better. And some of these choices really can have impact across the world. Enjoy great information. I was listening to John Maxwell today, and he's talking about this being a time of change. And he said, you know what? People change when they hurt enough that they have to change, when they learn enough that they want to change, when they receive enough that they're able to change. So I hope no one's hurting, but we're going to share some great information, and hopefully you'll receive enough to make a positive change in your world and maybe pay it forward to the rest of the world. So little background on me. I like to tell people, first and foremost, I'm a family man. So I've been married 34 years to this beautiful lady, Kelly Rakowski, 3 wonderful children, 3 beautiful granddaughters, and our wonderful kids are planning more. So maybe some announcements coming in the near future. I've been in clinical practice 31 years, and I've seen all ends of the spectrum. I've seen world champions from every major professional sport, and I've also seen people that were sent home to die. My passion is teaching, so I've taught over 10,000 hours of health education on 6 different continents. And we're going to share some health information and wealth information and even happiness information tonight. So I like this quote: a good scare is worth more to a man than good advice. And I had a good scare. And I tell people a shark in the water would have been less scary than my scare, because either the shark would have had lunch or he would have swam away. But either way, it wasn't going to be something that was going to be drawn out. But I had a shoulder injury, and I got an X-ray report that came across the fax just as I was leaving town. And really, the only words I saw on that report were bone scan. So if a radiologist suggesting a bone scan, he thinks he sees something that could be cancer. Well, I've got to tell you, I didn't think that that would ever be an issue for me, but a few years earlier, I had lost my best friend to cancer. He had a skin cancer that by the time it was diagnosed, it had metastasized. So suddenly I began to think, what if my time here is short? So in that time of soul searching, I remembered this wisdom: your network is your net worth. And I have a couple questions for you. One, do you think that's true? And if it is, are you open to this principle working for you? Because I was open to it, and I'll tell you what, my life is better than ever. And we'll share some of the magic of networking that can be so good for you and people you know and like. So here are some facts. 45% of working Americans, nearly half, have some type of side hustle. And 25% of these people say that they could not pay their bills without it. Now, interestingly enough, there's a lot of ways that you can have a side hustle. And we're going to talk about one called network marketing, because I think it's the lowest cost of entry, the highest potential upside, and really the best business model going. But network marketing's been around for over 75 years. It's active in over 100 countries. It does over $200 billion every single year in sales, with about half of that paid out in commissions to people that are sharing better products and better services. I love the title of this book, Royalty Income, and the subtitle, The Business of Getting Paid More Than Once. So most people sell a good or create a service and sell that, and they get paid one time. But in this case, we can get paid many times more than once. So when you look at coffee, and that's what we have, a healthier coffee, the average coffee drinker in North America drinks 3.3 cups a day. That's over 1,200 cups a year. And I've introduced people to healthier coffee more than a decade ago. So that means I've been paid more than 1,200 times on work that I did just one time a decade ago. So pretty amazing as the possibility there. Grant Cardone was featured in a reality show called Undercover Billionaire. And he was put in a town, dropped off. He couldn't have his identity, his name. He had no contacts in his phone. He had $100 in an old truck. And he had 90 days to build $1 million business. Well, Grant succeeded, but he said the way to do that is to partner with a successful company with proven products. Ed Mylett, one of the richest guys in the world, is on Fortune's list of the 50 richest in the world under the age of 50. He made his first many millions in network marketing, and he's a huge advocate of this business model. Now, keep in mind, let's say that you had a product or service that you needed to sell. So you have a couple different options. Maybe it's something new that people have never heard of that they're really not doing. So you could sell that. Now, if it's a great product or service, you could educate them and, hopefully earn their business. Or how about the other option? You can offer people a better choice of something they're already doing at a better price that's more convenient. And that's what we have with the Organo products. So Organo's been in business now 14 years. This is a picture of their corporate headquarters in Vancouver, British Columbia. They're operational in over 40 countries and expanding as we speak. So this was their first billion-dollar question. Do you know anyone who drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally? I don't know if I've ever asked anybody this question where they said, no, I don't know anyone. Well, then you might follow it up with, well, is it you? And they might say, well, yeah, it is. And then I just say, you know what? I've invested in a healthier gourmet coffee and tea company. I'd love to gift you some samples. And if you like them, I'd like to earn your business. Now, the reason I show this as a text screen, you can just as easily create a conversation via text, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever. And so much of this has been virtual. And in fact, I've created over 100 business partners virtually by striking up a conversation, adding value, offering to gift a free sample. People fall in love with them. And then they say, you know what? I think I can do this as well. Company Organo has 2 different patents. So that means that their products cannot be replicated. One by which they extract the nutrients from the product, and the other by which they actually alkalize coffee and infuse it in the coffee. So we have a healthier coffee, a gourmet coffee, a better coffee by so many different measures. Their second billion-dollar question was, do you know anyone that wants to lose weight drinking dessert? So they created delicious shakes with grass-fed organic whey. And this is the story of Frank, who lost 100 pounds in 10 months by drinking dessert a couple times a day. So, here he was on stage telling people, you know what, this has been so good for me. I'm going to share it with the rest of the world. And what a good story that is. And by the way, here's a fascinating fact about Ganoderma. Since I teach doctors, I'm very familiar with PubMed.gov. Ganoderma has, a half a dozen plus mechanisms by which it's really good for blood sugar and even diabetes. So what I tell people if they have blood sugar problems is, test your blood sugar before trying an Organo latte or mocha, and then test it 30 or 45 minutes afterwards, and you might be very pleasantly surprised. And even my diabetic patients that are on insulin tell me that this has such a minimal blood sugar impact. It's about the same for most of them as eating a meal of broccoli and chicken, which nearly every doctor in the world would agree that that's a pretty good blood sugar meal. So over time, as their blood sugar regulating gets better, a lot of parts of their health can get better. So here was their next billion-dollar question. Do you know anyone who wants beautiful confidence? And you'll notice I spell beautiful a little differently because the product line is called Be You. And of course, you should be you. Why be anyone else, but be your best self? And it's becoming more and more known, especially with documentaries like this called Toxic Beauty, that cosmetics and skincare products have dozens of harmful chemicals that can cause cancer, birth defects, or reproductive harm in both men and women. So now people have a choice. They can put something toxic on their face, or they can nourish their body, mind, and spirit with better, beautiful products from Organo. And keep in mind, this is all products that are available. They started with coffee and tea, expanded to weight loss, skincare, and their next vertical was travel, which, by the way, is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So how about this question? Do you know anybody that wants to save money on luxury travel? And up to 80% off with partnerships with over 100,000 resort locations all over the globe. And now their fourth vertical. Do you know anyone who wants a better brain? And by the way, they'd have to be willing to invest 6 minutes a day, 3 times a week. So in this picture is professional NFL quarterback Matt Ryan, who used NeuroTracker to train his brain to better connect with his team and his receivers and lead them to an amazing Super Bowl, which, by the way, with one of the greatest comebacks ever, Tom Brady just happened to beat him, but no shame in losing to the best of all time. And I'll share this fun video. Anika McPherson is a patient of mine And she's a national champion world high jumper, and she'll be competing in the World Games. But here's her wonderful testimony.
Hello, my name is Anika McPherson, Olympic high jumper, doing God's grace. And I've been taking CXT for a while now. And I really can tell the difference. It's more than just an energy drink and just amino acids. But when I take it before training or competition, I really feel that mental clarity and it just helps me perform better. So I really love CXT and I hope you try it.
So what an absolutely fantastic testimonial. And you know what? Some elite people can feel the difference literally within a few sips of this amazing energy drink, which I think is absolutely best in category. So when you look at all that Organo has to offer, time freedom, money freedom, location freedom. Yes, you can build your business from your computer, from your phone, literally anywhere in the world right now. Health freedom, beautiful confidence, enhanced brain health and cognition. And that package together is total freedom. Organo has invested heavily in something called the Organo Products Trust. And they've spent a few years developing this with a partnership with IBM, but you can scan barcodes on certain products now, and soon every product in the line, and you can find out where were the coffee beans from, what type of processing did it go through, what are the quality certifications, EcoCert, kosher, halal, USDA certified organic. It's all spelled out and easy to find with the scannable barcode. You know, and people might ask, well, why in the world would they have something like this and make this big investment? Because they have an edge. They have a distinct competitive advantage. You know, our competitors, do they have the same quality? Probably not. Are they able to prove it? No, not with the ease that we have. And we made this investment because we know this is where Organo products shine. When you look at a business, people like Warren Buffett say you want to look at the products. Well, we've got absolutely phenomenal products. You want to look at the company, 14 years of success in 40 countries and expanding. By the way, the company does all the heavy lifting. They do the research and development, the product development, the manufacturing, the shipping, the accounting, the logistics. You know, they do the technology. They have partnerships with IBM, partnerships with UPS. Actually, they hired away the UPS logistics director for global shipping. You start looking at support. The company has support in every single country and region. And then we have a team which has epic support with multiple Zooms every single week, availability with experts for three-way calls or messages, and Facebook groups, which make it easier than ever to share. When you start looking at the timing, you know, do you think people are more or less interested in taking control of their health and or their wealth than ever before? And if you're like most people, you say, yeah, you know for sure that that's going on. And then let's talk about the money. Now, what does it cost to join our team? $49.95. I'll get back to that in a moment. And then an inventory of products that you want to sell. But you know what? You don't even have to buy products if you don't want to. You can sell and then buy, or buy and sell, but there are advantages to both ways. So the magic number for most people is about $500 a month. And you get there by getting about 10 basic customers for coffee. So remember, the average coffee drinker drinks 3.3 cups a day. I'm above average. I'm at 6 cups, and I have been for at least 40 years of my life. But at an average customer with 3.3 boxes a month, you would earn right at that $500 a month. The law of compensation states that our income is determined by how many people we serve and how well we serve them. So by yourself, how many people can you serve? Well, the likelihood is not many. But what if you built a team? And so let's look how this can multiply. So let's say that you found 10 people who felt overworked, underpaid, looking for opportunity. And they said, you know what, this makes sense. I can share better products. I can point people to a Zoom or a Facebook or a three-way call. Let's do this. Well, when that 10 gets their tenure at 100, then it grows to 1,000, then it grows to 10,000. And the reason I put the timeline up on top here is one of my mentors, Eric Worre, made his first fortune in network marketing, and he started at age 23. He said he was a chronic underachiever, and all he was known for was really failing and starting over. But when he saw this business model, he said, you know what, the skills are very learnable. I can learn it, I can apply it, I can make this work. Took him 4 years to learn the skills where he could get a team that started to grow. But, he earned his first million before he was 30. And that was, by the way, in a million in a calendar year. And that was back in the 1980s when a million was worth a whole lot more. And then we can talk about the time aspect because it's our only non-renewable resource. By the time you get to 10,000 people, if they all work just 15 minutes a day, that's 1/4 of 1 hour a day, that is 2,500 hours each day of productivity. So think about that for just a moment. 2,500 hours of productivity. If you work 50 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, that would take you a year to put in 2,500 hours, and people can grow to 10,000 and beyond. So what's the cost? $49.95 gets you a membership and a website active in all 40 countries. And then the company has what they call their accelerator packs. We'll call them good, better, or best. They have a blend of a variety of products. And if you purchase one of these packs, you accelerate your earnings and your ability to advance within the company. The basic package is about about $300. The mid-range package is $500. The top package is about $1,300. And you start being eligible to qualify for some amazing bonuses. So Organo is the only company in network marketing where you can get a global growth bonus. Everybody qualifies to work towards that when they start, or multiple times a year, people that have existing businesses can qualify for up to $9,000 in bonuses. So how does it work? Well, the top pack is called the Boundless Pack. And literally, if you find 8 people over the course of your first 30 days that say, you know what, this makes sense, I want to build a business, and they get the Boundless Pack, you would qualify for $4,360 in bonuses. And by the way, 2,500 of that is in addition to what you would typically get within the compensation plan. And if you do this, your business would be wonderfully positioned for long-lasting success. How possible is it? All these people on stage, very different demographics. This young man here is 23 years old and qualified for the global growth bonus. And then you'll see different people of different demographics, all qualified. So there's no discrimination. If you work and build the team, you get the bonuses. I'm going to wrap up with 4 questions. And then on Wednesday, we do a little bit of team training. But here are the 4 basic questions. So the first question is why? Why did you take the time to join us tonight? There's so many other things you could do. The second question is the answer to the first. Why not? Why not make a better choice that can make your life better, starting with the first SIP or application or brain training session? So why not? Next question, why not you? Someone's going to say this makes sense, and things that make sense can often make a lot of dollars. And the final question is why not now? So the longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So your call to action is simple. Go back to whoever referred you to this live Zoom, this Facebook Live, or any replay anytime in the future, and tell them, you know what, I'm ready. Let's start making my world better, and maybe even the whole world better. So we're going to transition to training in a moment, but I always wrap up with these words. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful. So good night or good day all, and God bless.